The night the forest breathed his name. No dog barked in Isoko Hiede. The wind had died without warning. Palm leaves stood still like listening ears. Even the crickets, those tireless singers of the African night, seemed to swallow their voices. And then, from the deep belly of the forest, came the sound that made every fire in the village flicker. Slow footsteps, heavy, measured, unafraid. Old women shut their doors. Hunters gripped their charms. Children were pulled close to their mothers' wrappers. Because everyone in Isoko Iede, from the youngest child to the oldest elder, knew that only one man walked the forest at night, as if darkness itself feared him. They called him Dracula, but his real name was Ogenevwede. And long before fear wrapped around his name like mist on the river, he had been just a boy, born during a storm. The boy born with thunder. On the night Ogenevwede was born, lightning struck 3 times behind his father's hut. The midwife swore the sky cracked open like a calabash. His mother screamed once. Then silence, then the cry of a child, so loud that the goats tied behind the compound broke their ropes and ran. That one, the midwife whispered, wiping sweat from her forehead, does not belong only to this world. As he grew, strange things followed him. At 5 years old, he carried a bundle of firewood that 2 grown boys struggled to lift. At 7, he wrestled a stubborn ram that had injured several farmers and dragged it calmly back to its owner. At 10, he walked alone into the forest at dusk and returned before midnight, carrying a bush pig across his shoulders. The elders began to watch him differently, not with hatred, not with love, but with careful distance, because strength in a quiet village surrounded by ancient forest could be either a blessing or a warning. The silence of the forest, Isoko Iede, was not a village that frightened easily. The people were farmers, hunters, palm wine tappers. They lived by the rhythm of the land. At dawn, smoke curled from clay kitchens. By afternoon, children chased each other beneath mango trees, while women pounded yam in heavy wooden mortars. But beyond the farms lay the forest, thick, ancient, a place where stories walked as freely as animals. And for many years, the forest behaved as forest should, until the disappearances began. First, it was goats, then dogs. Then hunters began to return with strange stories. One claimed he heard breathing behind him, though nothing followed. Another swore he saw red eyes glowing between the trees before dawn. Then one evening, a young palm wine tapper ran into the village, trembling. "I heard something in the trees," he said. "Something big. It was watching me." The elders lit protective fires, but fear spreads like dry season grass fire. Soon whispers moved from compound to compound. Something was living in the forest, something that did not fear men. The night of the leopard. The moment everything changed came on a moonless night. The village festival had ended. Drums were quiet. Palm wine pots were empty. Then a scream tore through the darkness. A child. People rushed outside with torches. From the edge of the forest came a low growl that vibrated through the ground. A leopard had entered the village. The animal was massive, its muscles rolling like water under its skin. Its eyes burned gold in the firelight. The child it had nearly taken sat frozen beside a clay pot. No one moved, not the hunters, not the elders. Leopards were not animals to challenge with bare courage.